Good morning, everyone. That was way more energy than I actually have. That was very deceiving for what I actually feel sickness-wise. But it doesn't ever matter what happens before, because when you have a book launch, everything just feels better. Like it magnifies things by like 30%. So I'm just like, like low-key energy, but the launch of Ed is finally here. And it makes sense that you and I are doing this first little author interview, because this is where it all started. So welcome, Elizabeth. Do you want to just introduce yourself really quickly?
Thank you, Larissa. I'm so excited to be here. Even if you are feeling crummy, you are gorgeous, and I'm so excited for this. So, hi, everyone. You may remember me. I'm Elizabeth Watson. I'm a certified mindset and manifestation coach, as well as an intuitive empathic reader. And that last part is kind of what spawned this whole thing. Larissa and I met at an event and we followed up with each other because I thought she was awesome and I always wanted to write. And I knew she was someone I needed to get to know, like a mom who's writing and publishing. This is my person. And in one conversation, we went from how can we work together to let's make a book and let's be doing a book about tarot as creative writing. And let's really see what that results in. Let's not talk about people about how to do it because there's books out there about how to do it that are amazing. Let's do it and show people the results.
Yeah, and it's been so amazing because it's the same 5 tarot cards and 8 totally different stories. And so, Elizabeth, your story is the Diamond Daughter, and it's the second one in the book. So, like, you can grab your copy. I'm going to put the link in here. That's what I was just doing. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. But talk about the Diamond Daughter, because you're one of the few authors in here that this is a debut fiction for. There's 3 of you that this is debut fiction. So talk about, I mean, my gosh, what all the feelings that went into this, because I know this has been a big deal for you.
It has been a bigger deal than you realized initially. Like we've had conversations about this. I've been sharing with you along this journey only as we've gotten to this point, what this has been like for me. So it's not only my debut in fiction, it's my debut in publishing. So I'm the baby author in the group, and I got to get in here because I'm the tarot professional. So never let your accomplishments hold you away from doing something else. They could be the thing that opens the door into something you always wanted to do. So really think about what you love and what you're good at, and maybe that's the door to doing this writing thing that you've always wanted to do. Because I am one of those kids in school where they had, they're okay, we're going to do a creative writing thing. And I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, how many pages do I get to do? How long do I have? Like, I think it was second or third grade, something like that. We had this writing exercise where they were like, make a story and draw your pictures, and we're going to put it in a book for you. And it was like, like they got little cardboard and they let us put our thing on the front and they laminated the front. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was hooked. I knew I had to publish. Like I knew I had to be a writer. And my grandmother actually, she in her retirement years, she started to pick up her passion for writing. And she wrote some beautiful things. And she went to classes at the local community college and she never published anything. And this was, back in the like late 90s, early 2000s, when she was really looking at a lot of this stuff. So it was a different field back then, but still, she was given a lot of encouragement. And there were a lot of people who really wanted her to go forward with this. And she found a lot of reasons not to do it that were perfectly legitimate. She had family to take care of. She wasn't someone who had gotten a degree in writing and all sorts of stories that she told herself. And because of that, she has binders of writing that no one ever saw. And she's gone now. We lost her 4 years ago. And her birthday was actually on the 4th. I'm going to cry. So there's a piece of me that feels like I'm keeping a part of her with me on this journey. Like she would be, I don't even think there's words for how she would feel seeing her granddaughter's name as a published author. And I want her to know that this is just the beginning, Grammy. And part of this is for you.
You're amazing. And I think that what's been amazing about this project all along is the souls that have been attracted to it, the people that have come into it, and the diversities that we have. I mean, I don't think maybe 2, 3 of the authors are in the same country. Like, we're spread out all over the place, and we all have different backgrounds and experiences and different whys. And I think, I mean, you have a rock solid why, like why you want to do this, why you want to get involved, and why Ed is just the start, right? Like, you and I have talked many ways about how to get you involved more in the publishing world. Because if you have that bug, it's that, like, I was the same as a kid, right? Like, once you get the bug, you're like, ooh, this is the thing. This is my whole identity now. I want this to be forever. Now, I want to ask a couple questions about the Diamond Daughter. So the Diamond Daughter, for the readers, is awesome because it leaves you wanting so much more. And I know you're a new author, and when I read it, I think I said this to you too, like, this is stunning. Like, your world building is magnificent. The dialogue you use, the emotion telling side of things. What kind of practice has gone into being able, like, did you, because some people just find like, oh, I'm naturally very good at it, but is that what you found, or did you have like tons of iterations and go back and forth, and how was the writing process?
The biggest challenge for me in the writing process was the inner game, the mental talk, like who the hell are you to be writing a book and publishing with these other people who have work out there? And what do you think you're doing? You don't have a degree. You haven't published anything. You're just a mom. Like, has anybody else ever said that to themselves? You're just a mom.
Just a mom. Yeah.
Oh man. And don't get me wrong. I love being a mom. It is absolutely one of my core things, but it is not all that I am, and nor should it be, because my kids are multifaceted. So they should see me be multifaceted. And to answer your question, I have spent many years writing, and nothing that has been published, but that doesn't mean I haven't been writing for a very long time. You know, if there was an elective in creative writing, I was taking it, and I was taking classes in it, from very early on in elementary school all the way up through, even advanced courses throughout my studies. And just because I didn't finish a degree doesn't mean I didn't put in the time. And I get a little flack from family members because I would be sitting in some of my college lectures on, statistics or something incredibly exciting that we all love to learn about. And I would be writing short fiction stories in the margins of my notes. Like, there's whole things that were happening that had nothing to do with class. So I've been honing my craft for years.
Yeah. And with the Diamond Daughter, it really is the beginning of something, because you leave it on, I mean, you pissed me right off, if I'm being totally honest, because you left it on such a cliffhanger. I was like, oh, when's the rest of the book coming out? And she's like, patience, please. And that's exactly what this book is all about. Like, it's such a mixture, right? It's got stories that are preludes to other stories. It's got standalone stories. It's got prologues and epilogues, and it's all over the place, which makes it so much fun, because it's not just the promise of one book. I mean, there's, I think, at least 3 other books that link up to this book by the solo authors, and yours is going to be the same. Now you've declared it to the world, and I'm going to hold it up here. You've declared it to the world that there's going to be more of the Diamond Daughter. And so what's kind of going through your head, knowing that this is the launch pad for what's going to be your next book, hopefully, or one of your next books? What's going through your head right now?
The GIF that plays on repeat is your reaction. I sent the book away for editing for the first round, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, she's going to tell me I'm a total fraud. This was the worst mistake ever. She's going to have to, thank you very much. You're going to have to not be involved, because this would absolutely ruin the book. We can't have this in there. And it wasn't the initial reaction, but your reaction when we talked later on encapsulates your initial reaction. It's basically, rude. Where's the rest?
How dare you do this to me?
Yeah. So it's actually, it's exciting and it's intimidating. And my biggest question is just, when the hell am I going to find the time to do justice to the rest of the story? Because Alyssa's story, even from the beginning, I knew there was no way I could tell it in short form. And the best I could do was give a really good introduction to her life so you would understand who this person is. And she's actually not very likable. Like I tried really hard to, bring more into the story so that people would understand that she's not only one thing, but you have to understand where she starts to understand the magnitude of where she's going to go. And I just couldn't, like, she wouldn't let me pull her out of the mess that she was in. You needed to see the entirety of her hot mess so you would understand what she evolves into over time. And the cards are directly responsible for the journey that she is taking, for what the ultimate end result will be. And there's only hints about it in The Diamond Daughter in Enchanted Divinations. But, yeah, now I've got my husband was asking me the other day, "So what can I do to get the rest of that story out of you?"
Yeah, where do you need to go? What room can I lock you in so that you write the rest? I'm with your husband on that. I need the rest of this story. And I mean, Enchanted Divinations gives us a great sneak peek, but yeah, at the end of it, I was like, okay, like page flip, like where is the rest of it? And that's exactly what we want to do with this book, right? We want to give people a taste of new genres, new authors, new styles of writing. I mean, we've got um, magical realism, we've got fantasy, we've got spice, we've got romance. Um, my story is quite dark. If you're into it went way darker than I meant it to, but kind of to your point of like the cards drew me in a direction, right? And the story really, it was exactly what it needed to be. And I think that's what happened with a lot of the authors is that we came in kind of thinking what we knew, and then the cards were pulled, and it was just this download. Like I remember the call that we did when you did the poll with the authors, and everyone's eyes were just like saucers, right? As we were just like, okay, I can see it. I had this idea, but now I can see it, and I have direction. And so, how did the cards play into? And I know you said it's just a hint, a taste of what it's going to be, but how did the cards play into Diamond Daughter for you?
Oh, in so many ways. I mean, we pulled 5 cards, and the thing that was beautiful is the way that just the universe that opened up for each and every one of us with that. Because, like you said, there's all these genres, but it also spans all these themes. There's something about parenting and coming to terms with a child growing and having their own identity, and yours shifting with that. There's, self-identification and really exploring all the ways that can go. There's the relationships in so many different dynamics that come into this, and it's just beautiful. And for me, because I'm a tarot professional, I'm a professional reader and, student of tarot, I couldn't resist. We didn't have to use all 5 cards, but absolutely there was no way I was never going to use all 5 cards. And the ones that people will see most clearly, will be easiest to identify in the Diamond Daughter, was the 6 of Cups, because that card, I, I know you shot your head because that was one that jumped out at you initially as well.
Yeah.
That card was like the one that was in my face from the very beginning, like me, I'm important. And readers will, as they're going through, they may recognize images from the card in what I'm describing in one of the scenes. There's a market that my character walks through that is directly pulled from that card's imagery, from the amazing artistry of Lamusi Designs and the Fantôme Tarot. And it was that I felt like I was stepping into that card as I was writing that scene. And it was
Mhm.
just magic. It was magnetic. It was magic. It was incredible. And there's no way to explain what it's like to get lost in that process, to get lost in that world as the words flow from you, and to know that you're co-creating it with the tarot. And the artistry of someone who put their heart and soul into a deck as well is just next level.
Mhm. There's so much art in this, right? In the cards, in the stories, even in the community that we created around this book. So much of it came together. And I do want to say for the readers, we've actually included the cards in the book so you can see what our inspiration was along with the traditional reading of them. So it's a very immersive journey for the reader to be able to see how all the authors pulled in the requirement was at least 3 cards, and I think I also did all 5 because it was just like immediate. I knew immediately who they were, And I think it's really cool too that you used it for scene setting, because that's not actually something I did. Mine was all characters. Each card dictated a different character and their personality and their future too, right? It was about looking forward. So that's really, really amazing. You can definitely grab your copy. I put the link down at the bottom and the QR code up there at the top. Today is our launch day, so we are trying to get to bestseller, which is super exciting. I have no doubt we'll do it. We had enough pre-sales and enough activity and excitement around this, but day of support is always appreciated, so that Amazon recognizes that we even exist. And then of course reviews are always appreciated. So Elizabeth, any last comments you want to leave with our future readers, because the book is in print now and it's coming out and it's ready. You can download it today if you buy an ebook, and you can get your copy just in time for the spooky season. So anything you want to leave our readers with?
I hope you feel the magic of this thing, because from the very beginning, from the first conversation, it really has taken on a life of its own. It's drawn, like Larissa said, a world and a community around itself. And it is truly just so exciting to see what has created, what it has grown into. And I expect that we've only seen a fraction of what that's going to be. I think that as you, the readers, get your hands on it and get to dive into this, it's going to take on a whole new dimension, the way it has with each person that came into it. Larissa and I were very intentional, which is another way of saying picky, about the people we brought into this project. We knew that we wanted only the best people. And so we know it's going to fall into the hands of only the best readers. And that means you. And we're honored that you're coming into this world with us. And we're excited to hear what your experience is. And we hope that you just love it as much as we have.
Yes, very, very much. A lot of, honestly, blood, sweat, and tears went into this project. It's been loved by 8 different authors, and fussed over by 10 different, like between the editors and the publisher and the designer and all of us. We're so invested in this book, and it's always for the reader, right? We're always working to give you something that you can dive into and escape and imagine and dream and lose yourself in, and also explore tarot and what tarot can do for the creative soul and how it can aid you in your writing. And that's exactly what this book is about. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. Make sure you grab your copy today. The link's in the bottom, the QR code's in the top. And we're going to have these interviews going throughout the day. We have one more coming up in another hour, and then we'll have a couple more over the rest of the week, so you can hear about from the rest of the authors. And we also have a lunch party. I will make sure to include that in the comments as well after this video is live, because I don't have it right now. And I don't think you want to watch me find it.
Well, and know that if you can come to the lunch party, you could have your chance of getting the book in your hands even more soon than you realize, because that's going to be one of the grand prizes, along with a reading, and you'll get to meet the authors and find out more about them than we get a chance to share here. And it's just going to be a really amazing time for us to celebrate it. So if you can come, do. We're going to love getting to celebrate this with you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. This project has been amazing, and I think it's been a dream for both of us, and I'm so glad it's out in the world now.